What if, in just a few seconds, everything starts to slow down? Not suddenly, not all at once, but step by step, your body begins to shut down. It usually starts with a critical moment. Your heart begins to weaken. Its rhythm becomes unstable. Beats become irregular, slower, or sometimes dangerously fast. This is the moment when blood flow starts to drop. And when that happens, oxygen delivery to your body begins to decrease. Your brain, the most sensitive organ, is the first to feel it. Within seconds, brain cells begin to react to the lack of oxygen. Your awareness starts to fade. Your thoughts become unclear. You may feel dizzy, lightheaded, disoriented. Your vision may narrow, like everything is slowly closing in. At the same time, your breathing begins to change. It may become uneven, shallow, or irregular. This happens because your brain is struggling to control the breathing centers. Your body is still trying to survive, still trying to correct the imbalance, but it's losing control. Your nervous system sends emergency signals. Your heart tries to compensate. Your lungs try to bring in more oxygen. But the system is no longer stable. And now, a chain reaction begins. As blood pressure drops, less oxygen reaches your organs. Your muscles begin to weaken. You may not be able to move properly. Your body feels heavy. Your responses slow down. Your senses begin to fade. Hearing may become distant. Vision becomes dim. Your awareness of the outside world slowly disappears. But inside your body, there is still activity. Cells are still working. Organs are still trying. But time is critical, because without oxygen, cells cannot survive for long. And the brain can only survive a few minutes without it. This is the beginning, not the end, because what happens next is when the body begins to shut down, system by system. Within seconds, the brain begins to lose control. Oxygen levels continue to drop, and the brain, which depends on a constant oxygen supply, cannot function properly without it. This is where awareness starts to fade. Your thoughts slow down. Your ability to focus disappears. You may feel confused, disoriented, unable to understand what's happening. Then, something deeper begins to change. The part of your brain responsible for consciousness, your awareness of the world, starts to shut down. This is not instant, it's gradual, like a dim light, slowly fading. Your vision may darken, sounds may become distant, unclear, like they're moving further away. Your body is still there, but your connection to it is weakening. At the same time, your reflexes begin to slow. Your ability to respond disappears. You may not be able to speak or move, because the signals from your brain are no longer reaching your muscles effectively. Inside your brain, cells are under stress. Without oxygen, they cannot produce enough energy. This causes electrical activity to become unstable. Signals become weaker, disorganized, and eventually stop. And this leads to one of the most critical moments: loss of consciousness. This is when you are no longer aware of your surroundings. No pain, no fear, no clear thoughts. Your body may still be alive, but your mind is no longer active in the same way. From the outside, it may look like complete stillness, but inside, there is still a process happening. Your body is still trying. Your heart may still be beating, though weaker. Your lungs may still be moving, though irregular. But the brain is losing its ability to control everything. And as more brain cells begin to fail, the control over vital functions starts to disappear. Breathing becomes more unstable. Heart rhythm becomes more irregular. And now, your body is entering a deeper stage. Because once the brain loses full control, the rest of the body cannot maintain balance. And what happens next is the beginning of full system shutdown. Now, the body is entering a critical phase. The brain has lost most of its control. And without that control, other systems begin to fail. Your heart is still trying, but its rhythm becomes unstable, irregular, weak, because the signals that keep it steady are no longer clear. Blood pressure continues to drop. circulation slows down, and with less blood flow, your organs stop receiving what they need to survive. Oxygen, nutrients, energy. Your lungs begin to struggle. Breathing becomes more irregular, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, sometimes pausing for moments. This pattern is a sign that the body is losing coordination. At the same time, your muscles begin to fully relax. Tension disappears. Your body becomes still. This happens because the nervous system is no longer sending strong signals. Inside your body, cells are now running out of energy. Without oxygen, they switch to emergency processes. But these processes cannot last long. Toxic byproducts begin to build up. Cells start to break down. And this is where organ function begins to fail. Your liver slows down. It cannot process toxins effectively. Your kidneys stop filtering blood. Waste begins to build up rapidly. Your digestive system shuts down. Because energy is no longer available for normal function. Everything is now slowing, stopping, one system at a time. But the most critical moment is approaching. The heart. Because once the heart can no longer maintain a rhythm, circulation stops completely, and when blood flow stops, oxygen delivery ends completely. This is called cardiac arrest. From this point, all organs are cut off from oxygen, and without oxygen, cells cannot survive. Your body has reached the point where recovery becomes extremely difficult. But even now, the process is not completely finished. Because after the heart stops, there are still changes happening inside the body. Changes that continue, even after life has ended. Now, the heart has stopped. Blood is no longer flowing. Oxygen is no longer reaching your cells. From the outside, everything looks still. But inside the body, the process is not over yet. It continues. In the first few minutes after death, your cells begin to run out of oxygen completely. Without oxygen, they cannot produce energy. And when energy stops, cells begin to break down. This process is called cellular death. Different cells die at different speeds. Brain cells, the most sensitive, begin to die within minutes. This is because they need a constant supply of oxygen to survive. Other cells, like skin or muscle cells, can survive a little longer, but not for long. At the same time, a chemical change begins inside your body. Carbon dioxide levels increase. The pH of your cells drops. The environment becomes more acidic. This damages proteins and structures inside the cells. And slowly, the body begins to break down from within. Within a few hours, another change begins. Your muscles start to stiffen. This is known as rigor mortis. It happens because energy molecules are no longer available to relax the muscles. So they lock in place. At the same time, blood, no longer being pumped, begins to settle in the lower parts of the body. This creates a change in skin color, a darker, purplish tone. This is called livor mortis. Your body temperature also begins to drop, slowly matching the environment around you. This is known as algor mortis. All of these changes are natural. They follow a pattern, a process, step by step, and over time, the body continues to break down further. But the most important thing to understand is this. Death is not one single moment. It is a process, a sequence of events, where systems stop, one after another.